Look up at the night sky and it feels permanent. The stars feel ancient, the galaxies feel endless. But everything you can see is part of a temporary era in cosmic history. If we could travel far enough into the future, we would watch the universe lose its light. Then its stars, then even its black holes, until almost nothing is left. This is not a story about one explosion or one final moment. The end of the universe, as far as our best models suggest, is more disturbing than that. It is a slow subtraction, a cosmic fading out stretched across timescales so large the human brain can barely hold them. Right now, we live in an unusually lively universe. Stars are still being born. Galaxies still glow with active nurseries of gas and dust. Heavy elements are still being forged. Planets still orbit warm suns. In cosmic terms, this may be one of the most visually rich ages the universe will ever have. That matters because the future does not stay this generous. The universe is expanding, and that expansion is accelerating. Over immense spans of time, galaxies beyond our local group drift farther and farther away, taking their light with them. The sky of the deep future is not just older, it is emptier. But the first real death of the visible universe begins closer to home. Galaxies make stars out of cold gas, and gas is not endless. Over time, galaxies burn through the raw material that lets them create new light. Star birth slows. The great nurseries quiet down, and without enough fresh fuel, the universe slowly loses its ability to relight itself. This does not happen all at once. Big stars die first. They burn hot, live fast, and explode. Smaller stars live longer, and the stubborn survivors of the far future are red dwarfs, faint, efficient stars that sip their fuel so slowly they can outlast almost everything else we see in the sky today. So if you jump far enough forward, the cosmos is no longer a bright ocean filled with many kinds of stars. It becomes a thinner, quieter, more fragile place, dominated by the small and the ancient. The giant, brilliant stars are gone. The richest eras of starlight have already passed into history. What remains is dimmer, older, and far more isolated. The universe is not fully dead yet, but it is no longer young enough to feel alive in the way it once did. Eventually, even the longest-lived stars run out, and this is the moment where the familiar universe truly ends. No blue stars, no yellow suns, no bright galactic disks blazing across space. The sky loses its old richness, and the cosmos stops looking like the universe we know. The age of ordinary starlight is over. What comes next is colder, darker, and far stranger. A universe made not of shining stars, but of the remnants they leave behind. What comes next is a universe built from leftovers. First, white dwarfs, the dense exposed cores of stars that have already burned through their ordinary lives. Then, neutron stars, matter crushed so brutally that it stops feeling intuitive, more like physics pushed past common sense. Then dead planets, frozen worlds still drifting long after the light that once warmed them is gone. And beyond them, black holes, the darkest survivors of all, visible only by the distortion they carve into space. It is still a universe full of objects, but now it is starved of light and haunted by the ruins of a brighter age. If you stood in that era, if standing anywhere still meant anything, the sky would not look like our sky. It would not shimmer with structure or glow with the layered light of stars and galaxies. It would barely glow at all. The few surviving points of light would feel thin, distant, and almost accidental. Most of the universe would no longer feel like a place you were inside. It would feel more like distance itself, endless, silent, and nearly empty. And then the universe enters one of its strangest possible chapters, the age of black holes. When stars are gone and most luminous structure has faded, black holes become some of the last major survivors left in the dark. They do not shine on their own. They announce themselves through gravity, through rare collisions, and through the bending of the little light that still remains. In a cosmos that has lost most of its familiar brilliance, they linger as dark landmarks of a much brighter past. This era is not dramatic the way movies imagine the future. It is not constant chaos, it is mostly silence, a nearly empty universe, interrupted only by rare gravitational encounters, occasional mergers, or the slow fall of matter into black holes. Violence still exists, but it is so rare that it no longer makes the cosmos feel alive. And now we reach one of the strangest predictions in all of physics. Even black holes may not last forever. According to Hawking's famous idea, black holes can slowly lose energy through a quantum process now called Hawking radiation. Not quickly, not even remotely quickly, but over absurd spans of time, even these monsters may begin to fade. That means the objects that seem like the final winners of cosmic history may not be permanent either. Even the last giants may not last forever. The black holes that outlive stars, galaxies, and almost everything else may eventually evaporate too. The last anchors may disappear. In that sense, the universe does not simply run out of stars. It may eventually run out of the very things that survived after the stars were gone. After that, what remains is almost beyond ordinary imagination. No bright galaxies, no stellar nurseries, no suns, no black holes. The universe moves toward a condition of extreme emptiness and extreme stillness. Not absolute nothingness, but something so thin, so cold, and so stripped of structure that familiar words begin to fail. By that stage, even the idea of a world starts to lose its meaning, because almost everything that once gave the cosmos shape, light, and drama is gone. This is why the end of the universe is so unsettling. It is not just destruction, it is the slow erasure of contrast itself, a long drift toward a cosmos where differences flatten, light fades, and the old structure of reality becomes harder and harder to recognize. Almost nothing happens there, because almost nothing is left that can happen. No useful gradients, no easy sources of light, no rich structures left to build new stories around. And yet there is another side to this story. If this picture is anywhere close to correct, then our era is rare. We live in a universe still full of active stars, visible galaxies, chemistry, warmth, oceans, atmospheres, and enough structure for life to look up and understand that there is something to see. We are not near the end. But we may live in one of the few chapters of cosmic history rich enough to be beautiful, bright enough to feel alive, and brief enough to be missed. In the full lifespan of the universe, this may be one of the rare windows when light, structure, and life all exist together. The night sky feels permanent because human lives are short. Cosmology teaches the opposite. Stars have timelines, galaxies have timelines, black holes have timelines. Even the large-scale structure of the cosmos is not fixed forever. What looks eternal to us is often just unfolding on scales too vast for human intuition. The universe is not a static backdrop sitting silently behind everything we do. It is a process, changing, thinning, cooling, evolving from one era into the next. And like all processes, however immense, it may eventually reach an end. So the next time you look up, remember this: the stars above you are not just lights in space. They are signs that you are living inside a brief, luminous chapter of cosmic history, a rare interval when the universe is bright enough, structured enough, and alive enough to be seen and understood. One day the cosmos may become too dark, too empty, and too cold for skies like this to exist at all. And that is part of what makes the night above you so extraordinary now. And that may be the strangest part of all. The end of the universe is unimaginably far away. But the fact that it can end at all changes what this moment means. The sky above us is still bright, and once you realize even a universe has a lifespan, the present starts to feel rarer, briefer, and more precious.